Joe, we're back. We're talking Mississippi State Bulldog football today. How you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm going to give you my quick preview for this Mississippi State team. So, fans of Mississippi State, if you're listening, this is probably not good for viewership, but not a lot to like on this roster, Joe. Not a lot to like on this roster.
No, no, there's it was a rough year last year, probably gonna be another rough year this year, and not an easy schedule to have to do it against. So,
Yeah,
they're Mississippi State is in a tough spot right now.
they're in a tough spot.
They they had a great long-term coach in Mullen. You can't fault him for taking his shot at Florida.
Yep.
That's where he'd come from. Then they went and didn't do so I think it was what was it? Moorhead was his name, came from Penn State.
Yeah.
Didn't do so well, but then they made the right hire with the Pirate Man, and
Ira.
college
Boy,
football is
RIP.
poor. Yeah, college football is poor for not having Mike Leach in it, and,
100%.
there's really no way to prep for that, it wasn't like it was expected, and, you
Yeah.
do kinda
Arnett
the
wasn't the right hire after him.
no, and how much of that was emotional
And
hire.
you kinda have to promote from within when something like that happens. You're
Something like
exactly
that
right. Tough
happens, and
position for the
now
AD.
now you've gone out and you've hired Jeff Lebby, year 2, Jeff Lebby.
And I like Jeff Lebby. I think Jeff Lebby's a
I do
good football
too. Good play caller,
good play caller. Lane Kiffin's great.
innovative in as far as this scheme goes.
Yeah,
I think it's important for Mississippi State they're gonna have to do what so many colleges fail to do, is they're gonna have to look at this from a long-term perspective and say, "Okay, here's where we were last year. Doesn't matter what we do this year as long as it's better."
yeah. This is a
And it
bad
that even if that's
bad team.
one game better, but a more even if it's one win better, but you get a better quality of football on the field, you gotta look at that as a win and look at move and do the same thing the next year, and then the next year, because this is truly as close to a total rebuild as
Yeah.
there has been in the Southeastern Conference in quite some time.
This is a tear down rebuild. You're right. Like, let's get better than we were last year. They went 2-10 last year, so I feel great about them winning more than 2 games this year. I'll tell you that. Can almost
Good
guarantee it.
news, Mississippi State fans, my floor, worst case
Uh-huh.
scenario, is better than that. So,
Mine as well. My floor is also better than that. Alright, we'll be quick here because this is, I like to call it the starting 22, right? Like, let's look at the
yeah,
offense, defense, starters, the depth chart there. They released a depth chart today, so we've got some names. I I don't love the starting 22 here. I'll tell you that right now. The offensive line's gonna be bottom 5 in the SEC. This is not a great offensive line. You've got some real question marks at receiver and tight end. Same thing at running back, and then
I'm gonna fight you on that a little bit.
okay,
Booth
tell
is
me
a pretty
more.
good running back.
Yeah, David Booth. Yeah, yeah, he's
He's a pretty good
solid.
little running back. He's gonna get a lot of carries, a lot of opportunity. Um, I, don't sleep on him. We
Yeah,
can find a good player over here, and he's gonna do pretty well. I will say interesting to
that's a
see
fair point.
he
He
was
was good
listed
last
as
year.
a or starter. You know how they'll list so and so or so and so. So
Yeah.
maybe the backup, what's his name, or maybe the other guy, Bothwell. Is that how you say that?
Fluff Bothwell. I almost named our son that, Fluff. Seriously
Yeah. Well,
considered it.
he's a dude. I'm just looking. I don't even know who he is, but I'm looking at him right now. Um, 5'10",
Transfer from South
230.
Alabama.
Yeah, 5'10", 230. So look out, buddy boy.
I'll tell you right now, this guy was a dog at South Alabama. That's exciting. And you're right. Let's give him credit. David Booth last year was solid. He was pretty good on a bad team. So
Yeah, he
maybe
was.
running back's a bright spot. Um, I have some real concerns at quarterback, Joe. Blake Shapen, we saw a little bit of him last year, not good. And then we saw a little bit of him at Baylor, not good.
Yeah.
And then the backup, a Savannah guy, Joe. Savannah versus the world. Luke
Pulling for the Savannah kids always.
yeah,
So,
Luke Promanek from BC is the backup from Florida State. I didn't realize he transferred to Mississippi State, so that's exciting. Got a Savannah guy in there in the QB battle.
well, and again, what are we looking for? We're looking for marginal success to be better than last year. You might get to see him if things aren't going well. So, it would be really cool to see a Savannah kid, captain at, be at the helm of an SEC program. So
Yeah,
that's
we've
something
got
to look
one.
forward to.
I'll save it for the Tennessee episode, but we've got a QB battle at Tennessee with the Savannah
Yep,
kid too.
we do.
So we've got some Savannah might be a little quarterback factory. That's sort of
I
my
you
take
know,
on
I
it.
tell you, I remember growing up and always wondered why you never saw because we were always like a basketball city. You had Savannah High and Beach that were continually challenging for state championships,
Mhm.
but you never saw any kind of big time Savannah prospects that make it, but that all changed about what, 15 years ago, 12 years ago?
Oh, Savannah's
And
been a five-star factory. Oh my gosh.
It really has. And I wonder how much of that is maybe the coaching's gotten better in town. I mean, you've got just great coaches, um, all through the city at the
Yeah.
private schools and even at these public schools too. So it's,
BC, Calvary, Savannah Christian. It seems like they're littered with like 4 or 5-star guys. So I
yeah,
think you're
they
right. It
are.
could be a
The development
product
there
of
seems
really
to
good
be
coaching and development. That's a good call out.
and commitment from the schools. So
Yeah, yeah, and commitment from the schools. Not at our alma mater yet. We don't have that commitment, but maybe one day. Maybe
yeah,
one
well, is what it is.
It is what it is.
It
What
is
about
what it
this
is. We've got a guy in there, first year guy this year. We need to let him cook a little bit.
yeah, give him some time. What about this defense? I'm not seeing a lot of guys I'm recognizing on this defense here.
Yeah, I didn't notice it. I didn't notice anybody. I will say though, and now granted, normally I would watch Mississippi State play more because they're traditional. Actually, closest 2 schools in the SEC geographically, Starksville and Tuscaloosa. Less than an
Really?
hour, right at an hour
Wow,
apart. Yep, they're the closest schools in the SEC.
so I did
I
not
would
know.
normally watch a lot of Mississippi State football, but they're not on our schedule anymore. So I didn't really watch a whole lot of state football last year. They weren't that good. That also had a lot to do with it. Um, but I did notice, they have got 5 guys coming back off last year's defense.
There you go.
So some experience coming back, better than some other teams. But I don't see anything that stands out here as something that we need to be. I mean, do you see anything on here that we should be on the lookout for that's gonna maybe make a all SEC name somewhere?
No, this is gonna be harsh. It's a bottom 5 D line for me. It's a bottom 5 linebacker group, and it's a bottom 5 defensive back group for me. So that's gonna
This
make things difficult.
Yeah. This Tony Mitchell, he sounds familiar. Did he go to Alabama at one point in time? Tony Mitchell, where do I know that?
I don't know. Nick Mitchell?
Oh. Yeah, he was an Alabama guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he transferred, he went to the East Mississippi, the, community college. Okay. I remember him. He was a pretty highly touted recruit. We were really excited when we got him. Then he got in a little bit of legal trouble, didn't really pan out at Bama and community college, and so now it looks like he's getting another shot. So good for him.
I
He's an athlete though. I mean, he is I remember seeing that name that when we went through there and looked. I remember following his recruitment and was excited to get him. So something on the back end right there.
Nice.
All
I
right.
will say
Best
one of my
case.
yeah, one of my takeaways from the depth chart real quick is a lot of ors. I don't like the
Yes.
or, Joe. A lot of coaches are
Well,
doing the or,
competition.
every position,
Competition though, again,
or.
we're trying to get better than we were last year.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
we're not we're not gonna sugarcoat it or anything. This is not gonna be a great football team. So, you've got to try to build a culture there, because it is a total tear down and rebuild.
Yeah, the ors are interesting, like, the one guy I liked at safety, Jerron Manning's an or, and he's, like, the backup at safety, which is interesting, and then one of the defensive end, Will Whitson, that guy was kind of a dog last year, and he's an or too. So it's like, why aren't
Why aren't you just naming your starters?
Why aren't those guys starting? Why are those guys backups? So yeah, Mississippi State, throw in the comments if you know something we don't know. Obviously, we haven't taken a huge dive into this, but that was interesting to me. Yeah, let's look at the schedule, Joe. What do you have as the key games here?
So, right out of the gate, I think you've got to get off to a good foot. You cannot go to Southern Miss and lose that. You
Yeah, I
cannot
hope they
you
don't lose to
cannot
Southern
you
Miss.
cannot this Saturday, you cannot go to Hattiesburg and lose.
Oh
So,
my god.
gotta win that. Um, then you look at the, kinda how it plays out. Arizona State, there's there's a good chance
They're
that
gonna
if
be
you
pretty
win that
good.
game that you're 3-1 with Tennessee coming to Starksville.
Yeah,
And just like I said about Arkansas and Ole Miss, I'm I'm not so sure how good Tennessee is gonna be this year, but but they've won a lot of games and know how to win. In Mississippi State at 3-1, figure a way to get to 4-1. I mean, that
yeah.
would be a huge
They'll be jacked up
program
for that game if they're
defining
3-1. Yeah.
building block. So, I've got that one circled, and obviously the game against Ole Miss at the end of the season, we just got done talking about Ole Miss a little bit ago. It's not gonna be one of Ole Miss's stronger teams of the past, say, 7 years. Um, so can you win the Egg Bowl? You win the Egg
Yeah.
Bowl, huge building block, huge building block. So, I'm not gonna say there's no trap game on here. I mean, it's every game is gonna have to be a fight. Um But those were the ones that I kinda looked at. If you wanna find a way to, like, really set the tone and continue to build and get better, those are 3 games right there that if you can find a way to go 2-1, uh, I think you look at the season as a success.
Yeah, I agree, and, uh, I think this is important to call out. The Egg Bowl is usually pretty close, Joe.
Always,
You don't
always.
see a lot of
Very
blowouts
rarely is
in the
that a
Egg Bowl.
blowout. Yep,
It's
very
it's
rarely.
usually a pretty tight game, so games like that, that can go either way.
Absolutely,
You wanna play ceiling
absolutely.
floor here?
I've got, ceiling a 6-6, floor a 3-9.
I gotta start going first. Alright, same thing. So, I had the floor is 3-9 and the ceiling is, 6-6. Yeah, let's dive into schedule. So, my floor for this team is they start 3-1 and they lose out.
Oof,
Not
oof,
good.
that's tough,
Um,
man.
so that's 3-9, but I think there's a real path to 5-7 here, personally.
Yeah, well, I'll call it out. At Southern Miss,
That's a win. Give me a win for the Bulldogs.
all right? I've got a win there too. But it is critical, man. If you go down there and lose, then we
That's
are
gonna be a close
really
game.
we're really in the struggle bus if you go down there and lose that game. Arizona
100%.
State at home,
That's a loss for me.
I have that a loss. Arizona side note, outside the SEC, Arizona State has the most returning starters out of any team in the nation by a lot. I
And
think
I
they're
like
bringing
Sam
in
Levitt at quarterback.
17 kids off that team from last year. They're not going anywhere. So,
Yeah, so
just a little
returning starters, very good, but returning touches, they would give Cam Scatterbo, like, 30 touches a game, so they're losing a
that
lot
is
of
true. That is they're losing a lot of touches, but still, you can't make up for the experience. I mean,
a
okay,
lot of
I'm
starters.
with you there on offense, but all those starters coming back on defense too, that's gonna keep them around. They're not going
Arizona
anywhere.
State's gonna be good. Yeah, they're gonna be
Real
good.
really good culture. We can come back to the SEC now, but I really like what they're doing out there. Also, that's his alma mater, by the way, so he may be difficult to pull out of there.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Kenny Dillingham personally.
Yeah,
Kenny
I am
Dillingham's the
too.
man. He seems like an
I am
awesome.
too. Okay, alright. Lost Arizona State. Alcorn State, they're gonna beat
Win,
Northern Illinois. I've got them
win.
winning that game too.
Nice.
3-1, Tennessee at home.
Very close game.
Tennessee's gonna win.
Alright, like it.
At A&M, A&M's gonna win.
Big loss.
You're off, and then you're going to Florida. Florida's gonna win.
Loss, yeah,
Texas at home, that's a
loss.
loss. Uh, I have Arkansas winning that game at Arkansas. They're the home team, but
I
this
like
would be one that
Arkansas too, but that could be 2 teams that are struggling. That could be
that
tight.
could be 2 teams that are struggling in need of a win right there.
Yeah.
So, but I've got Arkansas. Georgia at home, battle of the Bulldogs, probably not gonna be pretty for the, oft forgotten Mississippi State Bulldogs.
Give me the
At
Bulldogs.
Missouri, I feel like I say this every time we get to Missouri on one of these schedules, I have no idea what to do with Missouri. I'm gonna be pretty worthless on our Missouri preview. I just don't know what to make of that team.
It's a weird
So,
game.
you know,
I like Missouri there.
they're
Drinkwitz
gonna yeah,
somehow gets those guys ready to play.
yeah. Yeah, so it's pretty tough. I mean, then Ole Miss at home, you know,
I like Ole Miss,
I like
and
Ole
it's
Miss
local.
too. So we're sitting here 3-9. Uh, we forgot to do Poppy's path to the playoff for Ole Miss. Let's do
Mm.
Poppy's path to 6-6 for
Yeah.
Poppy's path Poppy's path to a bowl game for Mississippi State. It's there. It's
Yeah, oh, yeah.
there.
100%. Poppy's path to the playoff, non-existent. Poppy's path to 6 and 6. You start 3 and 1, and then you beat Tennessee at home, so you're 4 and 1.
Yep.
You're gonna lose 3 straight. I would almost guarantee it at Texas A&M, at Florida, versus Texas at home. But
I don't see
they're not
any
winning
of
one of
those
those
3
games.
unless we're looking at a Texas A&M team that loses their starting quarterback
Yeah,
or some kinda odd situation like that. I don't
yeah.
see I don't see those games being fairly that really that
Yeah, it's hard to predict something like that. Yeah, Texas A&M loses their quarterback and running back, Reed and Moss, and sure, maybe they win that game, but that I don't think so. So we're back to 4 and 4, but then you go to Arkansas and you win, you're 5 and 4. You're gonna lose to Georgia, that's an almost guarantee. And then you go at Missouri and you win, you're 6 and 5. You're gonna lose the Egg Bowl to Ole Miss, but it's gonna be close, and you're 6 and 6 and you're in a playoff game, and that's
Oh,
positive
you're in a
momentum
bowl
for the
game. You're in a
athletic.
bowl game, not
Yeah.
a playoff game. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. 6 and 6, you're in a bowl. It's usually Poppy's path to the playoffs. 6 and 6, you're in a bowl game, and you're going to Birmingham to the papajohns.com pizza bowl, and we're all happy.
Listen, if you find a way to get to 5 and 5 and you've got at Missouri and home and for the Egg Bowl to go to a bowl game,
Oh, yeah.
then
You're
you gotta
winning one of
like your
those
chances
games.
of going to a bowl game. I will
100%.
also say, if you go 5 and 7 this year, it is a marked improvement year over year.
You're
Yep,
trending up.
you're trending up. So,
2 to 5 to 7 to 9, that's what we call a trend.
everybody instant gratification, right? But this is Jeff Lebby took probably the hardest job in college football
Yeah.
when he came in there and had to take that job because it's a total rebuild culturally and everything from just a very bad, tough situation.
Also, I'll give you a little coaching secret. So Zach Arnett, who was the defensive coordinator and got promoted and was the head coach and then was fired,
Mhm.
that guy's not a head coach, but he's a great defensive coordinator. Everybody knows that. He's a defensive guy, a brilliant defensive guy. Someone's inevitably gonna hire Clayton White if South Carolina does well this year, our defensive coordinator. Zach Arnett's gonna come in and replace him.
Who you want?
That's who's gonna come in. That's not I don't know if it's necessarily who I want, but I think that'd be a good hire.
Yeah.
So, little sneak peek,
Okay.
secret rumor there, worst kept secret.
Good good deal. Well, I think that covers it.
That covers it.
Let's get improvement here, Mississippi State, and
Yep.
keep going in the right direction. Be patient with Lebby. Be patient. Don't run him out of town after
Yeah,
next
Jeff
season.
Lebby's a good coach. Give him a little time. He's a good
Yep.
coach.
Yep.
All right, Joe.
All right.